I'm going to warn you right now that today's video is just a wee bit nerdy. I had a request to make a video about how I organise my files on my computer and share some advice on how to keep design project files tidy, so that is what I'm doing for you today. I love this sort of thing, and hopefully because you clicked on this video that means you're interested in it as well, so let's get into it and hopefully I can give you some good tips. My attitude towards file organisation is to organise things and name them in a way that future me, who has many more projects saved on a computer by this point, is really going to thank me for later, so I'm prepping for the future now, if that makes sense, in the nerdiest way possible to do with filing. But anyway, for this video I'm going to use the example of creating a print ad. So if I was creating a print ad, the first thing I would do is make a folder within my documents folder called advertising. Then within that advertising folder I'm going to make one called print ads. Then, even though there's only going to be one print ad going into this print ads folder for the moment, I'm going to make another folder within that and name it with the publication or something descriptive of the ad to do with the brief, and I'll put my design files within that. That way I'm all set up for the future when I create more print ads, or if I choose to make web ads later on, I can add a web ads folder in that higher level directory as well. So setting that aside for now, let's just focus on one single project. First, I'll create my A4 InDesign document and I'll save it with a name that's descriptive and again will help me out in the future, and on the end I'm going to put V1. Next, within this project folder where my design file is saved, I'm going to make some more folders. I did warn you this was going to be nerdy. Okay, so first off I'm going to make a folder called Assets. In this folder I'd put all the imagery I'd use within my ad or anything else that I might need to refer to. Then one called Proofs, which I'll put the draft exports in when I share them with the client along the way. And another one called Exports, where my final exported file will go. And with a website project, for example, in this exports folder is where I'd put all of the imagery that I'd exported that will go live onto the site, because those are the final exports for that project. And also I put an underscore in front of all of these so that they're always up the top of my file list, and no matter what project folder I'm within, all of these folders are always in the exact same order. At the end of a project, if for example I've saved a few different versions of a file as I've made changes down the track and felt like I needed to save them as a different version number, and definitely remember to number your versions in order because that really helps. So at the end I'll make a folder called Process with an underscore as well, and in there I'll drag everything but the very final last version of the file, and that is the only thing that's going to live outside of the folders within folders in this project. Later on, if I come back to this project and need to create another version to make another change, I will just update the version number and drag that previous final one into the process folder. This is a really good habit to get into because, as you may have found, if you name a file with final on the end, it's almost like a curse and it never actually is the final version, so you end up having to name the actual final with capitals or with an exclamation mark or something, and that's just not very useful, so numbering them makes it much clearer. I definitely did used to name files like that though before I learned this really clever way of organising files from my old boss, who, as you can probably tell, is a pretty smart cookie, and I hope that by sharing it with you it might help with your workflow and with your messy file habits, because it's definitely helped with mine. Although, before I end this video, I do want to share something that's a little bit embarrassing with you and show you that it's only my design files that are this tidy. Nothing else on my computer is, because my desktop looks like this. Yeah, I know it's terrible. I'm still learning to be neat with anything other than my design files, obviously. It's mostly just screenshots of things to post on Twitter, or, of frames of my video to use as a thumbnail. I promise though, if it was anything screenshotted that was actually part of a design project, it would go into this filing system, into the assets folder. So aside from that horrific messy desktop, I hope you enjoyed this video and that maybe you got some tips from it and some new ideas for how to organize your files. Let me know what your current filing system is like down below in the comments. Are you super strict with it, or are you stuck in the final trap like I was? Let me know down below in the comments, because I'm a bit weird and I find that sort of thing interesting. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and hit subscribe if you're new to my channel and you haven't already. That way my videos will pop up every week in your subscription box and you'll see when I make a new one. Next week, coming up for you, I actually have a video about this desk that I'm standing at. That's right, not sitting. So yeah, stay tuned for that and I will see you then. Bye!